Welcome back everybody to Forza Motorsport, and today we're taking a look at the 2020 Automobili Pininfarina Battista. So the full production of this car started in 2022 and 150 units of these are being planned. It is based on the same platform as the Rimac Nevera, so it shares the same motors, the same batteries, the same T-cell battery layout to improve weight distribution. But unlike the Rimac Nevera, this has a carbon fibre monocoque chassis, as well as carbon ceramic brakes and an active rear wing. Whether or not all of that is on the Rimac Nevera I cannot remember, but the headline figure is that this weighs 4,409 pounds, which is 331 pounds less than the Nevera, so clearly some weight saving measures have been added to this car over the Nevera, which means that it can use its monstrous amount of power in a far more efficient manner. It's also got a pretty nice interior. It's got the same kind of butterfly doors that the Nevera has as well. So let's look at the interior. So yeah, overall pretty nice inside. I'm not sure why it's not letting me show you more of it, but you can see some of it there. So yeah, it's a pretty nice interior, and yeah, you've even got an active rear wing, like I said, so you've got plenty of stuff there in terms of that. Got a little bit of boot space in the rear as well, which is obviously useful. There's no frunk though, no doubt because of all of the aerodynamic properties that are going on to keep this car on the road, because it's got so much power. Now granted, it's not got quite as much as the Rimac Nevera, but it's still got a hell of a lot. 1,878 horsepower and 1,695 pounds-feet of torque from its 4 electric motors, which are powered by 120 kilowatt hour of batteries. So yeah, that's not quite as much as the Nevera, but because it weighs so much less, I feel like that the extra power isn't really needed, and therefore not only does this car handle better because it has less weight, but it also handles better because it's got less power and torque to deal with as well. So kind of a double whammy in that regard. So yeah, let's nonetheless get out onto the track and see what this car can do. Right, so here we are at Le Mans. We're on the new version of the circuit, so it's not just got the full black back straight on this. It's not got the old Mulsanne straight or whatever it's called. It's got the couple of chicanes in it, but that's because I want to show off the handling of this car as well as the massive acceleration and top speed. So I think this is a good compromise in that regard. So let's listen to the car for a little bit. Obviously it's an electric car, so it's not going to make all that much noise, but it does make some, and then we'll talk about it some more. So yeah, we were practically up to 190 there before we even got to the first corner, which does just show how quick this car is. Now granted, it's not the best handling hypercar out there, definitely feels its weight, but yeah, the obvious advantage with this is just the hilariously quick acceleration that it's got going on, as you can see. And yeah, even though it's not the best handling hypercar out there, it does definitely better handle than the Rimac Nevera. And yeah, as you can see, acceleration really is not at a premium, it's all there all the time. So yeah, as you can see, it got a top speed of roughly around 221 miles an hour, depends how hard you are on the accelerator, and it will do 0 to 60 in 2 seconds dead, and 0 to 103.4 seconds, which are, yeah, quite frankly hilariously quick acceleration times. And yeah, on the whole, I do prefer this to the Nevera. I like the fact it's lighter, I like the fact it's got better handling and better braking. I also prefer the way it looks, and yeah, even though it's probably no quicker in terms of acceleration or top speed, hell, it might even be slightly slower because it's got slightly less in the way of power and torque, it's still a ridiculously quick car in a straight line, and yeah, there's really no getting away from that, so I'm sure it'd be hilariously fun to drive online once you give it some extra handling upgrades, because yeah, the kind of power delivery in this is unmatched. And I guarantee it would be better to drive online or in any normal race really than the Rimac Nevera when upgraded, because you've got the reduction in weight over that car to not only play with but also already in your favour from the start. So yeah, this is my first electric car that I've bought on this game, although I have bought at least one more since. But yeah, it's the first one I bought purely because it's a new car to the Forza series, and yeah, I'm a big fan of EVs, so it's nice to see that they've put a new one in this game, especially one that hasn't been already in the likes of Forza Horizon 5. And yeah, I really like it. I know some people, well, a lot of people really don't take too kindly to EVs, and there's no real reason for that whatsoever because they are fun cars to drive. Oh dear. But you can also completely outbrake yourself, which is easy to do when you have the ability to get up to 100 mile an hour in 3.4 seconds, which, yeah, as you can see, we can get up to 130 nearly enough before we have to start braking, which is ridiculous for such a short straight. You know, that's not even 100 meters probably, and yet you're getting up to 130 miles an hour. And then when you get up to a straight like this, you get up to your top speed in no time at all. Does like to wobble around a little bit. So yeah, it's not an easy car to drive by any means. You've really got to be on your toes with it. But if you get it right, you do get rewarded. And it will no doubt reward you plenty in a competitive environment, should you be able to drive it properly and should you give it the correct upgrades to make the most of what it's got going on. Which is obviously its huge levels of power, which I am getting addicted to, quite frankly. It's hard to keep a measure of keep yourself measured, because you just want to floor it all the time because it's such a hilariously quick car. You get addicted to that kind of level of acceleration and speed. What can we do before we hit the finish line? Oh, 137 miles an hour. So yeah, I'm not going to say by any means that I'm the best at driving the car, but I do enjoy driving it regardless, and yeah, it's really nice to see another EV hypercar on a Forza game, as yeah, it deserves to be on the game like this alongside the Lotus Evija and the Rimac Nevera. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!